thanks for having this interview with me.
My pleasure, Richard.
First of all, who is Sam?
Sam is my spiritual guide, my guardian. He's been with me since this incarnation. You heard the medium say, well, I don't need my guides as much as when me, that person.
Sure.
I, Derek Acorah, need Sam with me.
You need Sam, yeah.
Always.
Excellent.
Because if I make mistakes, and certain mediums at times do make mistakes, get things out, the guide, if you've got an association with your guide, like the bond I have with Sam, okay, basically joined at the hip,
Yeah.
spirit body, physical body, Sam will never ever misguide me.
Fantastic.
He'll make me say the right words.
And Sam comes from, is it Ethiopia?
Ethiopia, yes.
Yeah. Why is it Ethiopia? Why would it be that particular country? Is there any reason?
There's no reason. I mean,
no?
people have different guides from in any lifetime.
Yeah.
Different parts of the world. I mean, you hear a lot of North American Indians for some reason. You hear a lot about the people that are European.
Yeah.
My previous lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay, I was brought up as an Ethiopian boy.
Yeah, I remember you saying, yeah.
And Sam in those days was a seer. In those days, they would have called Sam a seer or an oracle.
Yeah.
And all he did was walk around, go to many, many places in and around Ethiopia, vast space,
Amazing.
and talk and help the heads of the villages, talking about crops and things, about how the yield's going to be, to watch out for maybe marauding people, and just give them that like broad view
Sure.
of using his gifts.
Sure.
And they used to feed him. That was his pay. And he'd go on like that. So he was known to my family and the village.
Okay.
And yeah, so, but in him coming forward, when I came here in this incarnation, okay, that was already planned that he was going to be my guardian. Unknown to me, naturally. It was first told me by my gran about Sam.
Yeah.
Who would only approach me when he thought the timings was right.
Obviously, you've got the name Derek Acorah. Where did Acorah come from?
Right, the name Acorah came from many years ago. My grandmother married a gentleman who actually passed away after an injury that was caused as a seafarer on his way. She married this man, and she actually took his name.
Yeah.
And used because she was a medium like me.
Sure.
And she just called herself Acorah.
Oh, right, okay.
And of course she said to me, Derek, she said, you should use this name when you are actually working for the world of spirit.
Yeah.
So that's it. So my father's name was Frederick Johnson, so the name is Johnson, but Derek Acorah is the spirit medium.
It's the spirit medium. Now, I understand that when this began, you saw your grandfather, is that correct? You
Absolutely.
Saw, yeah. Did you see him, I mean, when you see spirit, I mean, obviously, when we see spirit, do you think it's different? I mean, this is what always gets me, is if a person that's not in tune as a medium, if they see spirit, is it totally different to what a medium would see if they're...
Well, I would say absolutely, yes,
yeah.
Because the best part of the time when people are actually seeing spirits, if they're not what we call developed over periods of years,
yeah.
As alike a person maybe see in the mind's eye, not
yeah.
objectively, subjectively.
Yeah.
That's where most mediumship starts, and it develops and develops until it gets to the stage. If it's meant to happen,
yeah.
it will become objective. In other words, they come from there in front of you. They develop, and you can see fine features. You can see, i.e., the clothing that spirit person will communicate is wanting you to see them in.
Yeah.
Whether it be a man in a suit, a man in a t-shirt, a woman in a long flowing dress, or a woman in a miniskirt, whatever. They choose their attire for you to see.
Because children are very sensitive, aren't they? I mean, I know...
Children are very, very sensitive. It's often said, and has been said right the way back, that because children from birth are so of the word purity, they've not been in the world that long to be tainted, or their minds, there's still a purity of goodness, and so they are closer to the Godhead.
Yeah.
Even after first, I would say it's often said that from about the age of 7 or 8 or even 9, that really all starts to be pushed back, because I've said this for years. Whether a child is born in Ethiopia, a child in America, a child in Australia, or whatever, that child will have an infinite, a very fine aspect of being able to see spirit people, especially spirit children.
Yeah.
How many times have you? It's been documented all over the world. Not everyone can be wrong. Yeah. You know, where a mummy will say about her son, who may be 1 or 2, he talks to his friends, or he talks to his friends. Now that's
I've come across it often. I've come across
yeah.
it. I've got families with children who said that they have actually seen something in the room.
Now, that facility tends to peter out when it gets to a certain age, especially when children get to puberty.
I mean, I think also with reincarnation, going back to that, is there any time in our lives that we will remember what that life was previous?
Never.
Never.
You will never. You're not allowed to.
Yeah.
The creative power won't allow that because, as I've been answered on this, it was a question I asked very deeply, purely and simply because if we were able to contain and remember a situation or a period of time in a previous lifetime, and that person, the you, in another lifetime, was actually going through something horrendous.
Yeah.
If that facility was open to you and that was to come to you in this next life, or a number of occasions, experiences, it's felt, from what's been said, is that would unhinge us, would affect the chemicals within our brain.
Sure.
Which then could cause us mental problems.
I can imagine, because we've got enough to deal with as it is in this world without remembering what was in the next. Now, you are clairvoyant, clairaudient, and clairsensitive as well. You've got all 3 of the...
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I said to you earlier that I've had this feeling for a while, which I know isn't Bell's palsy or anything like that, but it's kind of like a sensation on the face, and it comes sometimes... I always feel like someone's near me at certain times, and it's like tickling in the face, and I've had that recently. Now, you said to me that could be opening up, possibly?
Absolutely. Generally, at a stage when a person, man or woman, youth, whoever, starts to get these sensations from nowhere, you'll generally find that person, soul-wise, is meant to actually experience these things. In other words, starting you off at the very beginning of what we call using the facility of clairsentience, which can develop and does develop. It's like liking a ladder.
Okay.
First rung.
Yeah.
And whether the person knows they've stepped onto the first rung or the second, to get this sensation, I would tell them you have. And you can take it further. You can climb and climb and climb.
And climb and climb. Yeah.
Okay. There's no set rules to it.
What does it feel like when you channel?
Well, I could open this up to an awful lot of things. A lot of people, when I was almost haunted, would make a statement that Derek Acorah's been possessed again. Oh my golly, Derek Acorah's never been possessed.
Yeah.
Derek Acorah, in his own right, has agreed with the actual spirit energy, the entity there, to allow that person, to step through from the back here into what we call our auric field, aura.
Yeah.
So there's been an agreement prior. So that is what we call channeling. To be possessed is a totally different thing altogether, the opposite. Because anyone that, if they're unfortunate to have this set upon them, that is against their consent.
Yeah.
They don't know they've not agreed to it. And would they agree to it? We're told what was going to happen? I'm sure not. So basically, that question is, do I know, whilst I'm channeling that spirit, what's going on, what the spirit person's trying to convey through my voice box? No. It's like stepping back so many paces.
Sure, okay.
And it's like I'm at a distance, and I can hear very, very mildly.
So when people call you forward, you can just about pick that up from certain people.
Yeah, but no. That's where your guide is invaluable.
That's where they're invaluable, yeah.
Sam, even though I'm that far back, Sam is also that far back, next to me, right next to me. And when the call-in starts from that side, Sam has encouraged me, come on now, Derek, it's time.
Yeah.
So it's a joint effort from that side, and with Sam, making sure I get back into.
Lovely.
So,